Greetings in Christ. My name is Deacon Peter Seymour, and I am the Director of Communications for the Antiochian Orthodox Christian Archdiocese of North America. Welcome to this very special interview that we have today with our Father in Christ, His Eminence Metropolitan Saba, our new Father and Chief Shepherd here in the Antiochian Archdiocese. Sayedna, welcome. This has been a long time coming for me, and I'm honored to be sitting here with you today and asking you some important questions about your role in the future of the Archdiocese.
Oh, it's a great and long question.
Lots of questions, lots of answers, definitely. So talk about, maybe really quickly, your background. We know you come from Syria, but what was your spiritual formation like? What were you doing before you came to the United States?
In a brief, I was born in Latakia. It is the city on the Mediterranean in northern Syria, not far away from Antioch. It is the closest city to Antioch. Latakia is a pious city. There are a good number of the parishes and Orthodox people. But I raised in my childhood, I used to go to the Protestant church because it is in the neighborhood of my grandfather and my grandmother, where I used to live all the day. So, but later when I become about 13 years old, I used to go and to follow the activities and the prayer in the Franciscan and Carmelite monasteries in the city. And later in 16, I know the Orthodox youth movement, and I became a member in this movement. And through this movement, I could know my church from inside. And from that time, I became real Orthodox. I found the faith specifically when I was 17 years old through Dostoevsky. I know Christ and I loved Christ. And from that time, I started to find a practical answer about the question which impact my life since I was a child because of the sickness of my brother. I used to ask what is the meaning of life, what is the meaning of pain, of suffering, why people are suffering, why the evil is everywhere, and these some existential questions. Then I found the answer in Christ and through Christ and by Christ. So I decided from that time to follow him and to do like him, to be a priest.
Exactly.
This is in brief.
Yeah, and so in essence you kind of converted. You went from Protestantism to Catholicism and you found the Orthodox Church. How did you know the Orthodox Church was the true church?
And not conversion precisely, but I feel and I felt, I know that I am Orthodox, but I don't know why. Since my childhood, I was there. I went to the Catholic Church because I felt I love nuns and monks. I love monastic life since I was a child. I would like to go there because there are nuns and monks. That's it. But I feel at that time I am Orthodox, but I didn't know so much about Orthodoxy. And at that time it was difficult for me to know what is the difference between Orthodox and Protestant and Catholic. But because I passed through the three churches, I could know the difference very well later, very well, and I can differentiate between these churches and know what is the essence of differentiation and where is not secondary divisions or something like that. I think it was a positive influence for me. I get something good because of this. I have good relationship. I can talk with each one easily, but at the same time, I know the value of my church.
Yes.
In comparison to the others.
Very good. And I know that you became a priest. And you knew you wanted to become a priest. How? Talk about that, if you don't mind.
After I was 18 years old, my vocation was so clear for me. But my dad refused fiercely. And he didn't accept me to go to the seminary after the high school. And he asked me and insisted upon me to study university. Later, I know why. He would like me to not stay as a priest if I discovered it is difficult for me.
Sure.
He wanted me to be, if I want to be a priest, he wanted me to be an honest priest and loyal priest. Mm-hmm. So he wanted to provide me by certificate I can find job and live if I couldn't stay as a priest.
Sure.
For this reason. And so after I finished my university, I told him I did my promise. It is your turn now. So he told me, I don't like you to be a priest, but you are 24 years old. I cannot force you. This is your choice. And so I was ordained a deacon according to the advice of Sayyidina George Khudr. He told me, if you graduate from university and if you have pastoral experience a little bit and then you go to study theology, you will understand theology practically and you will be able to help the people and to offer our faith to the people pastorally. And this is true, really. So I left after 1 year of my diaconate to Parliament and I studied theology there. And then I came back as a priest. I was ordained a priest when I was in the third year of my seminary.
And your father was there for your ordination, correct?
Yes. He refused at first. But when I went in the church where I will be ordained, in the early morning, I found him in the church. He was waiting me. God rest his soul.
Yeah. And you had many years in Syria as a priest and also as a bishop. So this, episcopacy, of course, nothing new to you. What were your experiences like as a priest and then as a bishop and then as a metropolitan of the Archdiocese of Basra, Hanan, and Jabal al-Arab?
As a priest, I have a great and very rich experience. I love this period of my life. I loved priesthood because a priest is a father in contact daily with the people. I loved them really as they are my own children. And they loved me at the same time. I was in a good area. 80% of the whole population of this area were Christian, Orthodox Christian. So I could work very hard. We had good Orthodox youth movement, Christian education, good pious people, many activities, and I experienced many good things. I created special ways and kinds of pastoral ministry. My city at that time the Orthodox Church used these ministries. ministries. For example, I started trips inside Syria and out of Syria. While at that time, the Orthodox used to go with the Maronite church, with the Protestant church, for trips. So I started this kind of ministry, and I transformed this trip into special kind of retreat, the whole day or for 1 week. For 1 week, many people were attracted to the church, and they became very active in the church because of these trips. I used to hold a spiritual Sahara, as we call in Arabic. Sahara, it means at night we meet in one house where many families come to this house, and we stayed 2 hours at night to read in the gospel and make, as you say in English, Bible study, but in pastoral, spiritual explanation, not academic. And then I open the floor for all the people to ask whatever you want about the church, any question. And it was very beautiful and a very successful style of pastoral ministry. I experienced many good things. Yeah. I wept deeply when I was elected an auxiliary. And until now, I would like to stay as a priest in this parish.
But God had other things in store for you, obviously. Yeah. And so talk about your episcopal ministry, both as an auxiliary, which I think was less than a year, and then you were a metropolitan for
6 months.
That's 6 months, that's it. That's not long at all.
6 months. I went to Damascus. I was 39 years old. Damascus is a big city in comparison to Latakia. It was the first time I lived in a big city. But I loved this city from the first week. I discovered how people are thirsty for real spirituality. Yeah. Also, I was so active there, so active. I wept when I left Damascus to Hanan as a metropolitan. I wept more than I wept when I left Latakia.
Wow.
Really. I loved it so much.
Yeah. But then you came to love, I'm sure, Basra and Haran. I think you were there for 24 years, and you built all sorts of, so you built homes, you built up a wealth of writings and translations. So maybe give us a little bit about your time in your former archdiocese.
Haran diocese is in the south of Syria. It was the greatest archdiocese during the history. Until the 8th century, this archdiocese has a metropolitan and 35 bishops.
Wow.
Yes. Until the Fourth Ecumenical Council, it was 45 bishops. 2 of them were Bedouin. They used to move with their parishes, with their flocks, from place to place and pray in tents. Some of them participated in the ecumenical councils. But after the Chalcedonian Council, Jerusalem used to be a patriarchate. So Antioch gave her some archdiocese and bishopric and diocese to have a patriarchal entity.
Sure.
So my diocese gave Jerusalem 10 episcopates.
Wow.
So they still 35 episcopates and bishops. But later, unfortunately, it deteriorated, especially in the last century. 20th century was the worst for it because of many reasons. Security reasons, starving reasons, different economic reasons. Unfortunately, in the beginning of the 20th century, the Christian percentage was about 50-55% of the whole population. When I went to this Archdiocese in 1999, they were about 2 to 3% only. And because the area is in the end of Syria and in very poor area, used to be neglected for many decades. So when I went there, we had nothing except the building of the chancery, which was in very bad condition. It needed to be renovated from anew. There were nothing in the building because it was not in use. I put a policy to build what, as we say in Arabic, al-hajar wal-bashar, together. It means to build stone and people at the same time, together at the same time. And thank God, because of many blessings from God through the people who love God and through this blessed Archdiocese and through the Patriarchate, I could do miraculous things, really. God had made miraculous things in this Archdiocese.
And I know you had a special connection with our Archdiocese. You know, before you became our Metropolitan, there was the Hanan connection.
Yes, Hanan Connection project was established by Sayyidina Basil and Sayyidina Philip blessed it, and it is until now, it is alive until now. Now I am waiting what will be happen with the Archdiocese of Hanan to see what we will do by this project. They used to collect a tray every year in the last Sunday of July, which is the feast of the patron of Archdiocese of Hanan, Saint Timon the Apostle, one of the 7 deacons, the first 7 deacons. Yes. Who was the first bishop in Hanan, and sent it to us. And through this, we could do many projects.
In some of those projects, there was a home for the aged. There were, what else was built in there?
When I left Hanan to America, I left the dorm for the students of university, the girls. In Sweden city, capacity is 180 students. I left medical center, charitable medical center. I left some shops for rent. I built also a host for the people, to receive the people from different archdioceses, to have relationship with the Archdiocese, with the other Archdioceses. So the people who used to come, they have place to stay, to sleep, to stay some days, to receive conferences, retreats, camps, and something like that. Because Sweden, where is the chancery and the center of the Archdiocese, is a summer city. It has a beautiful weather. I left many agriculture projects. Unfortunately, because of the war, some fundamentalist groups had occupied these areas, and they pulled everything, all the trees we did. But at least we have the land now. So the next Metropolitan can start anew.
Plant new crops and trees and everything, exactly. Before we talk about your election, in that time you were as Metropolitan of Bosra and Hanan, you had visited the Antiochian Archdiocese, both as a priest and as the Metropolitan. You visited North America.
I visited North America as Archdiocese here. I visited it for the first time in 1995, 1996, and stayed 6 months in Wichita with Sayyidina Basil. God bless him. I was archimandrite at that time, a priest.
Sure.
It was a great experience for me. I would like to come to study English at first, because I would like to study 2 years of pastoral studies in St. Vladimir after I graduated from Parliament. But my Metropolitan didn't accept, didn't give me the permission. He told me, if you want to have doctorate, you can go to Thessaloniki in Greece only, and not to America. So I told him I don't want to study theory and theoretical pastoral studies. I want practical pastoral study. And the American style of life is getting more and more everywhere. So if I know how the church in America work and serve the people, I can get many good experience which will be useful for us here in the Archdiocese. He didn't accept.
Okay.
He said, no, not America. If you go to America, you will stay in America. So,
you're right.
So I stayed in my Archdiocese, and I loved my parish. I couldn't leave later to study more. So, but after 6 months, I felt that I am tired, I need retreat, and I want to improve my English, because I studied English in Balaman in the mid of the war in Lebanon. I couldn't study English well. So he told me, if you want to go, go, but I will not send you. So I talked with Sayyidina Philip, who is my friend. He told me, you're welcome. And that's what happened. But I couldn't study English here because my Metropolitan didn't ask Sayyidina Philip at that time for a scholarship for me to study in university or in special school. But I get a great pastoral experience. Really, at that time, I visited 13 states in United States and Canada, and different kinds of parishes. I get in touch with people from the Middle East, with a convert. I became a sponsor, godfather, as you say, for 2 priests who were ordained Orthodox priests. They were convert, Father Jean Betancourt, one of them. I love him and I appreciate him, respect him so much. So I have, from that time, I have many friends in North America, and I stayed in contact with them with the Archdiocese from that time. And later, when I became a Metropolitan, I became a member in the Holy Synod. So because I am a member in the Holy Synod and I have many friends in the Archdiocese, I accompanied all what happened in the Archdiocese since 2003 until now. So I'm not stranger.
No, definitely not. No, you were very famous here even before you arrived here. Well, and before you arrived here permanently, what were some of your impressions of the Archdiocese of North America, and how will you use some of these impressions to shape your ministry here, to form your ministry here?
Before I came here as a Metropolitan, I visited the Archdiocese many times after the first visit. So I was impressed by the Archdiocese. It is well organized. The people are active and pious. They love their church. They have their responsibilities. They don't say to themselves, this is the church, the Metropolitan or the bishop or the priest is responsible about the church. No, they say this is our church. This is ours. This is something very important. Very important. This is very good and positive thing is in the church. But the royal, what we call it, royal priesthood, is clear and active in this church, but it needs to be more spiritual and theological. Okay. Not all the people who are active in the church know theology. True. They need to be aware their royal priesthood. But the Archdiocese is very rich by faithful, by pious faithful, by honest faithful, by very, very good priests, deacons, by many things, really, really, it is rich. And it deserves to be served honestly and loyally. Definitely.
Yeah. And so what is your vision for all of us, and what potentials do you see? What do you see that we are about to do? We're on the cusp of doing it as clergy and laity, and we just need a little more inspiration to do. What is our potential, as you see it?
Look, Peter, the church always has two faces or two aspects. Mm-hmm. There is what we call it is not two churches or divided, the church is divided. No, just to recognize. There is what we call it the church as institution. The church has a face, administrative face. It needs laws, it needs canons, it needs to be well organized. Each one knows what is his field, where is his responsibility end, and what is responsibility start. And the church needs to work, to serve, to go, to help the people. What I call it, the gifts of God, the gifts of Christ, should be given to the people, So the church as an institution is the hand of Christ, while the church as a spirit is the heart of Christ. If your heart doesn't love Christ so much and isn't full of presence of Christ, you don't know to give the people what Christ wants to give them. You give them what you want, right, and what you believe it is good for them. So this balance should be done always between the spirit and the institution.
Sure.
The institution. As I told you yesterday in the General Assembly, this balance or sympathy, we say it in theology, tanagum, we say in Arabic, synergy in English, is very important in the church. To be well church according to the will of God, of Christ. So, but this synergy needs angels. For this reason, I told you yesterday in my speech, I dream that this Archdiocese to be an image of heavenly Jerusalem. Mm-hmm. And does that, as we say in the Revelation book.
Absolutely, and in all of our hymnography, the Jerusalem on high.
Yes,
definitely. And does that, and to help us get there, are there practical points that you have? Maybe a new program, for example. I know we're here, by the way, at the Parish Life Conference of the Diocese of Los Angeles in the West. Sayedna addressed our General Assembly yesterday, and I heard, and Sayedna heard as well, of course, some feedback about maybe having more resources for the clergy, so that they can more effectively minister in their parishes, and even enhancing some of the ministries we have among our laity, so that we build up on this synergy. Is that part of your vision? Or
Sure. I have a great vision, but I need 1 year to know very well how is the Archdiocese on the ground. And to listen to the people and to the clergy of the Archdiocese everywhere. For this reason, I try my best to visit different parts of the Archdiocese during this year and listen to the people, listen to their suggestions, their dreams. If they want to criticize something, let them criticize in front of me, to ask me, and then I can put with you, with the people, a good plan, well-studied plan. I think we have many positive things in the Archdiocese, but at the same time we have many negatives. We are people.
Yes.
Perfection is not on this earth. We should work always for perfection, but it's difficult to get perfection, but we should work. So I don't want to have any plan may fail in disappointed or failure. I want everything to be well studied, to not fail, to go on day by day, day by day.
It takes a lot of patience. You know, we have to, like you said, really examine
We
everything.
need patience. Yeah. We need patience, but also we need wisdom. We need study. We need plan. We need good vision. We need to know our potential well, to not do more than we can, and to not do what we can do more.
Yes. Huh? Yeah. And yes. I heard another one of your comments here at the Parish Life Conference earlier in the week. As you know, we have a very diverse archdiocese in North America.
Yes, yes.
You know,
this is one of the challenges.
Yes, definitely. And you even mentioned, well, Antioch is known for this diversity because in the first 10 centuries, as you said, depending on where you were in the Middle East, in historic Antioch, they prayed in either Greek or Arabic or Aramaic or even Armenian.
And not or.
And which one?
Yeah, yes. The Archdiocese has many challenges. One of them is the Archdiocese is multicultures. Multicultural. Sure. The main culture, sure, of course, it is the American culture. But the people in America know their background and they love their background. And the policy of America encourages them to keep their backgrounds.
Yes, in society.
To be American with their background. For this reason, America is the only country in the world you say that I am American Syrian, I am American French, I am American African, I am American Chinese. This is the only city. So this is America.
Sure.
And the Archdiocese is multicultures. We have many people whose roots are from the Middle East. Some of them speak Arabic well, some of them forget Arabic, different generations from 130 years ago, from different countries of the Middle East, not from one country, not from one city. There is diversity among them also.
And of course, a lot of families here in the United States and Canada for 200 years, for example, that have converted.
Yes, yes. And we have many who became Orthodox and they don't know about the Middle East. Their background either from Europe, either now we have some Chinese. I met 7 women and their husband who are Japanese in one of the parishes I visited on Sunday. We have different. We have African now. Yeah. We have white people. We have black people. So there is diversity. Diversity is something very beautiful because it enriches the Archdiocese. But if we are not aware, are not wise enough, diversity became a danger for the Archdiocese. Maybe divide the Archdiocese. So this is one of our challenges. For this reason, I said in different places and times that we can get a great experience from Antioch. Antioch, until the 7th century, some parishes in Antioch used to pray in Syriac, in Middle Syria, in Al-Kalmoun.
Yeah.
We pray in Syriac, the Byzantine rite, but in Syriac as language.
Sure.
As language. During the 1st century, until the Crusaders came to Syria, the shore of the Mediterranean, from Syria to Egypt, used to be Greek. And some great cities like Damascus, like Aleppo, used to be civilized city. The civilized city were Greek. It means the language of education is Greek.
Sure.
So we used to pray there in Greek. While inside Syria, the popular language was Syriac. We pray in Syriac. In North Syria, which is south of Turkey now, there was a great Armenian kingdom at that time. And many of the Syriac, and we had many archdioceses there. Now there is no one after the massacre of Turkey in 1915, when they killed many Armenian, many Orthodox, many Syrian.
The genocide.
Yes, this genocide, yes. So we used to pray in Armenian. While in South Syria, there are, where my diocese is, my old diocese, we had many Arabic tribes, were Christian. They pray in Arabic. Wow. So we lived with different languages, different cultures. Also, Syria, the Great Syria, I mean the Levant, as you call it in English, used to be, but until now, it is the area, the theater where the great forces of this world are fighting.
Oh.
Until now.
Yeah, nothing has changed.
So all the great forces came to Syria and occupied Syria and stayed some years, long years on the Crusaders, Mamluki, Ottoman, the empire stayed 400 years and 16.
Yes. More than 4 centuries.
Yeah, 4 centuries. Yes, and later French. So the people in Antioch, because they are from different ethnicity, different cultures, and they used to live with many cultures who came as invaders, they used to live with each other, to accept the other easily, to talk with him, to differentiate themselves upon it, but to stay in good relation with him. Sure. So it is easy for us to talk with the other.
Yes.
To open a dialogue with them.
It's because they were forced to open dialogues and forced to be friends.
We lived in through the history in an open atmosphere. So the Archdiocese could take from this.
It's a great example.
One of the challenges I discovered after I came to the Archdiocese is the Archdiocese needs to be open more than it is.
What do you mean by that?
The Archdiocese has not enough relationship with the other Archdiocese of Antioch and with the other dioceses of the Orthodox churches. Not just that. It lives little bit like it is in circle. In circle, and we have certification. We don't need. No, we are in an open world now.
Wow.
It should be open and have good relationship with each one. You can get benefit from here and there.
Very well. And then, so I think it means it's almost time for us to go. But so this is, so we follow their example of just open dialogue and being ready to talk to one another and to make peace and to overcome divisions.
Yes, Peter, before I forget, the Archdiocese now has people who speak English very well. They are English, American. Who speak Arabic very well. Some people who speak English what they need, but they cannot read in English. They cannot listen to lectures, to sermons in English. Their English is weak. We have Spanish who become Orthodox now.
Sure.
In Canada, we have French. In Quebec, we have some parishes who pray in French. So, in different parishes of us, we see some Greek, some Romanian, some Russian, some Serbian, because they have no churches for them in this area. They pray in our church. So it's normal to pray in different languages. And if we have one family, Serbian family, for example, and the priest could say, "Peace be to all," in Serbian, they will feel that they are home.
Yes.
The church is home, is family. So this sense is very important. We should be aware of it. For this reason, I'm talking always about the multicultures and how we become one with this diversity.
Absolutely. I know earlier I asked you about your vision, and you said you want 1 year on the ground, but I think...
But I have many visions.
You have many...
As I told you yesterday, I don't want to give you all my visions, to not put heavy burden upon your shoulders.
But one thing I'd like to address, and you did address this yesterday, building an Antiochian monastic life in this archdiocese.
Yes.
How you are dreaming about that and to actually start monasticism well here in the Archdiocese of North America.
Let me tell you 3 visions.
Okay.
I believe they are very important. Monastic life, to have monasteries in the Archdiocese.
Yes.
Institution, we need schools, we need orphanage, we need senior homes, we need clubs for our aged people. We need
lots of things.
We need also what I call it specialist pastoral ministry. Traditional pastoral ministry is not enough in our modern society, especially in America. I mean by traditional pastoral ministry, parish and a priest and maybe a deacon. That's not enough now. To serve our people as we have to serve. It's not enough because priests cannot do everything. Now you have to serve the old age people, the teenage, the youth, the children, according to the age.
And everything in between.
Yes. You need to serve the people also according to their profession. The doctors have different challenges from the teachers, from the drivers. So we should create special kind of specialist. It means special ministry, pastoral ministry to this kind of the faithful. So in this perspective, I think we need to create department of fellowships in the Archdiocese. To have fellowship for every profession. Fellowship of doctors, fellowship of lawyers, fellowship of teachers, fellowship of professors in the university, fellowship of drivers, fellowship of workers. Why not?
Yeah.
Why not? We should make fellowship of family, of new families. We need different kind of ministries. So I call it specialist ministry. Ministry. I have many dreams. Pray to me to do these dreams because this archdiocese is promising archdiocese. I love this archdiocese since I was a deacon. Yesterday they discovered in the headquarters in New Jersey a letter from me when I was a deacon to Sayyidina Philip. I told them to print it in the Word. I think it's good to be known. I'm asking him about the Word magazine and the importance of the relationship between our archdiocese and this archdiocese. I was a deacon. And it is dated in 1987, maybe.
Wow. Yeah? So you were already dreaming of relationships among the archdioceses at that time, before we had social media and video chats on our phones, when it was almost impossible to communicate back then. But today it's easy.
We need department, for example, we need to create department of pilgrimage.
Wow. Yeah. We have deep, obviously, as you explained, the deep history and spiritual roots and ancestry
we challenge,
Middle East.
The church challenges many very new challenges now. You know, in our society, every day we have new trend, we have new... we have no experience before because the church didn't face such experiences in the past. So we cannot find the answer for these challenges, except we should exchange our experiences.
Yes.
So we need to get in a relationship with each other, with the other archdioceses, to exchange the experiences, to find what is the best way to keep our people, to serve our people, to keep their salvation.
To always continually to reach out to them in the ways that they will understand. Do you want to talk about monasteries really quick?
About what do you want me to say about monastery? Monastic life, something cannot be created by a decision. You need persons who love God, who want to consecrate their life for prayer, and then to experience the monastic life, to live it, and they start monasteries. So we have two choices. I told you yesterday.
In the General Assembly.
Either we send some who like to be monks or nuns to a monastery, good, experienced monastery, to be novices and to live the real monastic life there for some years and come back. Or God sent us some nuns and some monks to start the monastery here from the beginning.
Sure.
I prefer the second because I cannot wait 6-7 years to have a new monk. So I hope that we can receive and host some nuns at least, because there are some convents in Syria and Lebanon who can send us if we are ready and if God inspires them, because it's difficult for any monk or nun to leave his monastery.
Sure.
It's not easy for them. So let us pray for this, and for this reason I invited one abbess for the next convention in Phoenix. I hope you host her very well and you encourage her.
We will, absolutely.
To send us some nuns and start a monastery in the Archdiocese. We need monasteries are oases, spiritual oases in the desert of this world.
Absolutely.
So all of us, we need them. We need oases to have refreshment.
Absolutely, yeah.
Spiritual refreshment.
Definitely, and it complements the lives of our faithful and our clergy in the parishes. They do complement each other, monasteries and churches. Sayyidina Saba, this has been just a tremendous opportunity for me on behalf of the entire Archdiocese, your Archdiocese, our Archdiocese, to hear from you, to see you and speak with you about your vision and what is to come. And of course, we know you're exploring at this point you want to, like you said, study everything well. But is there anything you would like to leave us with? Anything you'd like to conclude with in this interview that we did not touch upon in this premium special time that we had together?
No, thank you so much, Peter, for this interview. I just want to tell all my beloved people, beloved sons and daughters, I am the first servant of you. I am a servant of Christ through you. When I serve you, I serve Christ. This is my vocation. I hope all of you pray for me and help me by your prayers, by what can you do for this church to be heavenly church, to be heavenly Jerusalem from on
high and here on earth.
Yes, on earth, sure, yeah. Sure. We are on earth.
Yes.
So our vocation as a Christian, especially as Orthodox, to transform this world into an image of the heavenly kingdom. It will be not perfect heavenly kingdom here. We live the heavenly kingdom imperfect there.
Yes.
After this. But here we should do our best to make it like the heavenly kingdom.
Absolutely. Thank you again, Sayyidina Saba, for your time today. And again,
thank you for your effort, you and Richard. God bless you.
Subdeacon Richard Agelat is working the camera today. Thank you again, Sayyidina, for your time, and all of you watching this, thank you for your time. God bless you, and may this be the first of several conversations we can have on video.
God willing.
In the years to come.
I am your servant.
And we are yours, and altogether serving Christ. We pledge. Thank you so much.